In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I want to speak to the heart that feels heavy, to the soul that feels burdened, to the one who is asking, why me? Why this? Why now? You look around and see others moving with apparent ease, while your own feet feel stuck in the mud of difficulty. Your chest feels tight with worry. Your shoulders ache under a load you didn't ask for. And the whisper of shaitan comes, see, Allah has forgotten you. This is random. This is your lot in life. I am here to tell you with absolute conviction, this weight you feel is not random. You're carrying something heavy. It's sitting right there, in the center of your chest. It wakes up with you in the morning and lies down with you at night. You try to shake it off, try to distract yourself from its presence, but it's there, a constant companion of worry, of fatigue, of that quiet, nagging question. Why is this happening to me? You look around. You see others going about their days. They laugh, they plan, they move forward. They seem light, unburdened. And you wonder, what did I do to deserve this weight? Is this a sign that I am being punished? That I am somehow less worthy, less loved? And then, in your most vulnerable moments, the darkest whisper comes, maybe this is just random. Maybe life is just unfair and you drew the short straw. Maybe Allah has forgotten you here. I need you to listen to me now and listen closely. That whisper is a lie. It is the oldest, most dangerous trick of our eternal enemy to make you feel abandoned by the one who created you. To make you see your trial as a sign of divine anger rather than divine attention. To make you believe your pain is pointless. I am here with every fiber of my faith to tell you something else, something true. This weight you feel is not random, it is not chaos, it is not a punishment sent to break you, it is precise. It is measured, it is in fact a profound sign that Allah has actively, deliberately and lovingly changing your life. Think of it this way. When a gardener wants a tree to bear the sweetest fruit, what does he do? Does he leave it untouched to grow wild in any direction? No. He prunes it, he cuts away the branches that are dead, that are draining life from the core. He sometimes even binds it, supports it, directs its growth. To the tree, in that moment, the pruning feels like violence. The binding feels like confinement. It cannot see the gardener's plan, it only feels the cut of the blade. But the gardener sees the future harvest. He knows that this momentary pain is the only path to abundance. You, my dear brother, my dear sister, are that tree. And Allah is the most wise, the most loving gardener. This weight, this pressure, this feeling of being cut back, it is the divine pruning. He is removing from your life what was secretly harming you. He is closing doors that looked beautiful but led to empty rooms. He is pulling people from your circle who were taking from your faith and never giving back. He is dismantling your dependencies on everything and everyone but Him. It hurts because you were attached to those branches, but they were holding you back from the sunlight of His mercy. Perhaps your burden is a financial strain that squeezes the hope from your days. You pray, you work, you strive, yet the relief seems distant. See it not as poverty, but as a divine course correction. Allah is forcing you to turn to Him, truly turn to Him, with a raw and needy heart. He is stripping away the false security of the bank balance to show you the unshakable security of His provision. He is teaching you the difference between rizq or sustenance and habad, dunya, love of this world. This weight is breaking your attachment to the temporary so He can give you something eternal. Perhaps your weight is a deep loneliness, a feeling of being misunderstood or walking a path no one else can see. This is not isolation, it is divine incubation. Prophets were often prepared in solitude. Moses found his mission in the quiet of the desert, away from Egypt. Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the first revelation in the cave of Hira, alone with his Lord. Allah is pulling you into a private chamber with Him. He is creating a space where the noise of the world fades and only His voice can be heard. This loneliness is not a curse. It is a sacred invitation to a relationship so intimate, so profound, that it will become the bedrock of your entire existence. Or perhaps your weight is a failure, a dream that crumbled in your hands. You invested your time, your heart, your identity into it, and now it's gone. The shame feels like a weight. The disappointment is a constant ache. But what if that dream was a smaller box and Allah is pushing you out of it because He has a whole field for you to roam? What if that failure was not the end of your story, but the essential breaking of your ego that had to happen before your real story could begin? He is not taking something away to leave you empty. He is taking something away to make room for what He has already written for you, which is infinitely better than anything you could have planned for yourself. This is the core of trust. Tawakkul, it is handing over the script of your life to the author of all stories. You are looking at a single sentence, a confusing paragraph, a painful chapter. You are crying over the plot twist you didn't see coming. But Allah is holding the entire book. He has written the final page, and it is one of victory, of peace, of a beautiful ending for the patient believer. Your trust is the bridge you walk on from this page of hardship to that page of ease. Every step of patience, every utterance of "I trust in you" is a step across that bridge. So feel the weight, do not deny it, but redefine it. It is not the anchor dragging you to the ocean floor. It is the hull of the ship cutting through the waves, carrying you to a shore you have not yet seen. It is the very proof that you are in motion. Stagnant things are not pruned. Unimportant vessels are not repaired. You are being worked on because you are valued. You are being changed because you are destined for elevation. This weight is the fingerprint of the divine upon your life, reshaping you. He is not ignoring you. He is so close, His hands are on the clay of your soul, applying the perfect pressure to form you into a vessel of strength, of mercy, of unshakable faith. The process is yours to endure, but the plan, the magnificent, glorious plan, is His alone. And His plan for the believer is always, always beautiful. When the Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, was cast into the roaring ink-black ocean, what was his reality? He was a man of God, a messenger who had tried, who had stumbled, who was now drowning in the consequences of his own haste and in the sheer, overwhelming force of the sea. He was exhausted, terrified, and utterly alone beneath a starless sky. Then came a shadow, vast and living, from the depths. The whale opened its mouth, and the darkness outside became a darkness within, swallowed whole. Can you imagine the weight of that moment? The crushing pressure of the deep sea replaced by the claustrophobic, gastric prison of a creature's belly. The stench, the absolute absence of light. The sheer physical weight of tons of flesh and ocean pressing in on him from all sides. This was not a metaphor for hardship, it was its absolute, visceral reality. To Yunus, in that moment, it must have felt like the end. A tragic, ignoble, and deeply lonely conclusion. But here is where Allah, in His infinite wisdom, performs a divine reversal. The very thing that seemed like his doom became his salvation. The whale, that massive, terrifying burden, was not his executioner. It was His divinely appointed vessel. It was His protector from the crushing depths, His submarine through the ocean, His transport to a new destiny. In that belly, in that perfect darkness, stripped of every human aid and every shred of pride, Yunus found his voice. His dua there, la ilaha illa anta, subhanaka, inni kantu minaz zalimin. There is no deity except you, exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. Became the quintessential prayer of the utterly reliant soul. The weight itself created the conditions for the most sincere surrender. This, my beloved, is the meaning of your whale, your burden, that all-consuming problem, that financial abyss, that heartbreak that feels like a physical wound, that anxiety that sits on your chest like a stone. This is not a random predator meant to devour you. It is your assigned transport. It may be dark inside. It may feel like you are completely sealed off from the world you knew. You may feel like you are dissolving in the digestive acids of despair. But you are, in truth, being carried. You are in motion. Allah has placed you inside this circumstance, not to digest you, but to deliver you. The ocean of your life was stormy, and you were drowning. You were exposed, vulnerable to every wind and wave of doubt and fear. So Allah sent your whale, it enclosed you. It took you off the chaotic, turbulent surface and into a deep, quiet internal journey. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is terrifying. But it is also a form of profound protection. While you are inside this trial, you are being shielded from greater harms you cannot even perceive. You are being isolated from distractions that would have permanently derailed you. You are being forced into a state of introspection and connection where the only direction to look is up. The whale of Yunus had a singular divine purpose: to carry him to the shore of salvation, to the place where he would be vomited forth, reborn, purified, and ready to fulfill his mission to a people who would then believe. Your whale has a purpose too. It is carrying you from an old self to a new self, from an old level of faith to a new one, from a life of scattered priorities to a life of God-centered focus. It is transporting you from the shore of complacency to the shore of purpose. Think of the alternative. If Yunus had remained bobbing on the surface, treading water in that vast ocean, he would have eventually exhausted himself and sunk. His trial would have truly ended him. The whale, for all its horror, was the mechanism of his survival and his success. In the same way, your trial, for all its pain, is the mechanism of your transformation. Without it, you would remain adrift, using all your energy just to keep your head above water in a life of spiritual mediocrity. This weight is forcing a change that your comfortable, unchallenged self would never have volunteered for. So what do you do inside the whale? You do what Yunus did. You pray from the place of total honesty. You abandon the polished, formal doers of easy times, and you cry out with the raw, unfiltered truth of your heart. Oh Allah, I am scared. Oh Allah, I am wrong. Oh Allah, I am weak. Oh Allah, I have nothing and no one but you. This is the dua of the belly of the whale. It is not a dua of presentation. It is a dua of survival. And it is the most powerful prayer you will ever utter. You also realize that this is a temporary state. Yunus was in the whale for a duration known only to Allah, but it was not eternal. He was spat out. He reached the shore. Your trial too has an expiration date set by divine decree. You are not in here forever. You are passing through. This weight is not your permanent address, it is your journey. Therefore, when you feel the walls of your circumstance closing in, when the darkness feels absolute, remember the story. Remember that the greatest burdens in the narratives of the best of creation were often their vehicles to salvation. The whale was not Yunus's tragedy. It was the essential, strange mercy that saved him from the sea and delivered him to his destiny. Your burden, this all-encompassing weight you feel, is not your end. It is your divinely designed means of transport. Trust the journey even when you cannot see through the darkness. For the one who commanded the whale to swallow you has already commanded the shore to await you.